take a moment to arrive deeply, not on the surface of your body, at the deep level. Arrive in your cells, arrive in your spine, arrive in your blood, in your organs. Arrive in your breath. May your body be full. May your breath be full, rich, alive. Arrive in your heart, all the layers of your heart. Vitality, willpower, confidence, mood, reactions, desires, emotions. Be in the fullness of life. Arrive in your mind. Not in all the memories and thoughts and worries, at the center of your mind. Like an anchor, a knowing that doesn't require any words or explanations. I want to give some example. On the weekend, you go to the park with your family, and some people are playing a game, like ultimate frisbee or soccer, football, something. And so you haven't played in a while. You're a bit out of shape, but anyway, you join into the game. And after a few minutes, everyone's laughing and smiling and having a wonderful time playing the game. But then a few minutes go by and you start to feel a cramp. You feel a cramping, and then you start wheezing for breath, and then you fall over. You feel like it's a torture. It's a torture to play the game. It's the same game. Everyone's playing the same game at the same time in the same place. Everyone else is enjoying themselves. It's wonderful. It's challenge. They enjoy the challenge. And it feels exciting. It's exciting to play the game. It's joyful. But for what reason then, this one person not enjoying? What is the difference? Only one difference: out of shape. When you're out of shape, then life becomes like a torture instead of an adventure, a celebration. In shape is not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually in shape. So the same exact game. It's the same game. It's not a different game. It's not a different time. Same game, same time. So, if possible, right, we must be in shape. It's a responsibility. It's part of integrity. It's part of a basic integrity. Second example is, imagine you play a game every day. Every day you play, like ping pong or anything. Every day you play, and after some years, you start getting worse. It gets more difficult to play the game. Same game. You're playing the same game every day, like Monopoly or whatever, solitaire. But for some reason, after 10 years, 15, 20 years, you get worse. You keep getting worse. It gets more difficult. What's the problem? There must be some problem. Either problem with the technique, problem in the technique, the mechanics, or problem in the understanding of the game, of the rules. Something is off. So is there a way that we can improve our technique? And the next story is, I forgot the next one. The point is, in gymnastics, we see them performing, and it looks effortless. No, when watching the high-level sports, Olympics, anything, you see this level of gracefulness, effortlessness. We call effortless mastery. So how to attain the effortless mastery? Is it you're born with that? Is anyone born with that? It would seem even the virtuoso even a virtuoso in any field, still has to undergo a period of regimented training that continues throughout the career. And through that repetitive, consistent training, then it becomes anchored, it becomes effortless. The jazz musician, how does that happen? Right? It's through training. Then after the training, you forget the training and you simply flow. So it works in the sports. It works with music. What about, can we apply this to being yourself? Being yourself is a kind of sport. Being yourself is a kind of music. And so if we follow the same plan, what's required? What's required is a period of training. If you want to learn to play basketball, there are certain moves you have to, how to hold the ball, how to dribble the ball, how to pass the ball, how to pivot, how to turn, how to run. There's a specific way to run in basketball that's different from other sports. So it requires a period of training, drilled training of specific skills that are required for the game of basketball. That period of training may take a few weeks, few months, but once you've mastered the basic foundational skills, you can apply that to everything. So are there any basic foundational skills required to be a healthy life organism? We don't know what it means to be healthy human now. Healthy body, what's it mean to be healthy? This is not clear. But for sure, there are basic functions like breathing, like the way you carry your body, your spine, like sleep, like eating, like the way you use your senses and mind. All of these things we take for granted. All these things that were conditioned from a time before we were conscious. And one of the biggest obstacles, what I've discovered recently, this whole people pleasing and trying to prove things to get attention and approval from others started for most of us, right? Our parents wanted us to eat at a specific time. And so if it's time to eat, but you're not hungry, your internal signal is you're not hungry. But then they're telling you it's time to eat. And if you follow your internal signal, then they give you negative feedback. If you listen to them and neglect yourself and follow what they want you to do, then they give you positive feedback, right? Around eating, sleeping, and going to the toilet. Basic functions of life. Now, you don't have to go to the toilet, but now it's toilet time. Go to the toilet, right? These three basic functions, in general, most of the world, in some traditional cultures, this wasn't like this at all. In Cambodia, it wasn't like this. So that's the only reason why I understood this. And so what happens is we from a very young age, we learn to not trust our own internal signal about the essential functions of life, eating, sleeping, and going to the toilet. And we learn to do what other people want so that we get their approval and positive feedback. And so then we end up, most of what we're doing is just to get the approval from others. And so this really distorts the flow of life. And so, for this reason, it's recommended to undergo a period of training. Then, during and after the training, once you've achieved a high level in a sport, you make it to the professional level. Do you stop training? Do you stop warming up? Right? No. You continue even more than before. And so it requires regular upkeep, daily tuning and daily warm-up. Few minutes every day. Recommendation we're giving here is 2%. To invest 2% of your time and energy in life back into your garden. Right? 2% of 24 hours is 30 minutes. 2% leaves 98%. That's so much percent. Right? So 2% is never lost. In fact, by investing 2% in yourself, then you gain 1,000%. Because even you have 100%, but it's 100% of nothing, 100% of feeling, disconnected and no energy, no inspiration, no creativity, no passion. What is that? There's no value to that. And so by charging yourself, like you charge a phone, you have to charge yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Right? The practice just like this, just charging, just a charge. Then you see, does that charge, by charging yourself regularly, does that improve the quality of your life? You have to find out. It might. Right? Because it's a vitamin. There's a vitamin you can't get anywhere else. It's the soul vitamin. The vitamin of being connected, of being rooted in the soul level, where you all the gifts from all your past, everything, you're able to access the power of the universe, everything, through the soul level. You can't get that any other way. And without that, even no matter whatever you have, it feels empty. If you're disconnected from yourself, even your so many millions and mansions and everything all the time, it's empty. They're powerful but empty. Beautiful, it's empty. You're famous, it's empty. Without that connection, but you have nothing. But you have that connection, then you're completely full. Like a king. That's what they say, the beggar. Who is the beggar? The one that always asking for approval from others. We're begging from others. Love me, approve me, to like this. But the king is just grounded in herself. The queen, the king is at home in himself. Doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Doesn't need approval from anyone. So how to achieve that? You must be in tune. When you're in tune, really it's not me that's the king. It's life that's the king. Again, life is doing everything. We're trying so hard all day, all night, trying so hard to be good, to do it right. It can't be done. No matter how hard you try. Look around, no one has done it. There's no answer to the question. And so it should be a relief. Then we can relax. There's no answer to the question of life. No one has found it. No one will find it. If it could be found, it would have been found by now. All these big machines in universities and all these books and everything, if there was an answer, someone would have it. It would have worked. It doesn't work. There's no answer. So you can relax. There's no finish line. There's no goal. The goal is here and now. The purpose is here and now. If you're waiting for the purpose, then you missed it. Because it's happening. It's happening. It's alive. It's real. You see, the mind is not real. The mind is an abstraction. But life is real. Mind is ideals. Our whole story of life is an ideal. It's not real. It's a fancy. It sounds good. Life should be peaceful. I should be happy. All this. It sounds good, but it's not true. So if it's not that way, it must be a different way. If we can get there through thinking and more thinking and multitasking and supercomputer thinking and everything, and still disconnected, unsatisfied, right? Then there must be a different way. Path of presence, path of here and now. The only way you can enter into the here and now is you leave your mind at the door. This is what they meant, through the eye of the needle. No only can enter the kingdom. So first take off your mind, then tell me, who am I? Without mind, without any mind, what is the problem? So we must make an effort to train this state of no mind, or we call tame the mind. Right now it's completely wild. From childhood we allow it to run around, eating all this candy, spazzing out, complaining, whining like a spoiled brat. Total nonsense. If a friend ever treated you the way your mind did, you would never listen to them. You would never spend time with them. So it requires the strict training. Put the mind in its place. then your mind will become more powerful. You don't become stupid by not thinking all the time. It's like burning the car, it's like burning the motor, like running a blender with nothing in it. You don't know more, you don't figure out more. No, you become less efficient, less creative. When the mind is running too much, also it's using so much energy. It's burning all this energy. Imagine it's like all the appliances on at once and all the time. And so there's no energy left over for nourishing, for healing your system, for blossoming the gifts from your soul. No energy, all just thinking. And this mechanical, low-level thinking, mostly negative thinking also, no? It's true. For what? There's no way to figure it out, no amount of planning. It's all control. It's control. Because of fear, we want to understand so we can control so. But it doesn't work. It won't work anyway. Even if you figure everything out and control everything, then what? Question. When you are in the midst of a very stressful situation, for example, work, how can we best ground ourselves? Sometimes we don't always realize how caught up we are in those types of situations. Is there a way to build better awareness? Yes, good question. Yes. But it doesn't start in the situation. It starts today. Every day, you have to every day cultivate that your roots. Every day you invest such that you don't learn to swim in the middle of the storm in the middle of the ocean. That's not, I mean, some people can, very rare. Right? In general, better you take your time every day to train. You have to cultivate that. It can't be like, oh my God, bad situation, like go gadget peaceful. You know, that has to become part of your repertoire. It has to be familiar to you. The same way we're so familiar with all the negativity and sadness and criticalness, that has to become familiar. That it's, I just reach for it, it's right there, it's in my palette. That color's in my palette. To be grounded, to be present, to be peaceful. You have to plant those flowers in your garden and water them every day. Then in the moment, you'll respond. You don't have to think, oh my God, I'm angry, I have to be peaceful. That's what the practice is. That's when you hold downward dog and you feel uncomfortable, but you keep your center, you keep your focus, you keep your breathing. That's what will come in from a parasympathetic level, right? We're retraining. You have to train your parasympathetic nervous system, is what we're doing. So you can't do that in the moment of a tension, but you do that all day, every day. You do that, just becomes part of. It's so beautiful to be alive and experience that aliveness. None of these distractions, buying things and shopping, and none of that have the same joy to be connected with that root aliveness within you. And so, what if there's value to that, then you can find time to do it every day. And then when you do, it will influence not only at work, but with your family, in your own mind, right? Any improvement you make in your mechanics is going to spill into every aspect of your life. That's why it's like people are training so many things, but you like training the violin, but you only play the violin a couple hours a week. Or training golf, but how many times a month do you play golf? Right, so if you put training into yourself, you have to be yourself all day, every day. So even a small improvement is going to have a massive difference. I mean, this is the working hypothesis. You have to find out, right? It sounds good. It sounds reasonable. These statements sound reasonable. I can verify empirically from thousands of people that I've worked with and in my life, but it doesn't matter. You have to make it your own experience. You have to understand, you have to pay attention in your daily life and start to feel, I feel I'm in tune, I'm out of tune. How can I be in tune? And establish that if you see value in it. Question 2. Do you often leave the center? And how does the center work when you're away? In a way, I never leave the center. You know, we moved here almost 5 years ago. I built a house in the village. I designed this house. I bought the land. I planted the trees. I have flower gardens. My cows are there. My son was born in that house. I raised him. My guru came to that house. I've been to that house, which is 12 kilometers away, 5 times in the last 4 years. I can't, wherever life is, I'm so deeply here. Wherever here is, I don't even know where that is. I go to India regularly. I go to India 5 times a year. I'm going to go to India in a few weeks. I just decided. But that's when, even when I'm in India, I'm still here. Everything, this is like so well, it's like a groove, you know, it's like a rhythm. It's like it's happening regardless of me. And I have many great teachers who have been coming for the years and so are able to hold the space. But no, I never go anywhere. And it's like always, for me, it's like for the trees, the plants, the sun, for the organs, life is 24/7, 365. There's no day off. There's no weekend. There's nothing. Life is fully being life each moment, every day. For me, I don't even experience different days. It's like there's one big day that keeps stretching. It's just this one infinite day. I'm not seeing, oh, it's tomorrow and the next, you know, it's just one day. It's one big block of experience that's infinite. It's like a fractal infinite block of experience. And it's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. I'm like not the main character. Question. When you are practicing a religious faith, how can you reconcile parts which don't feel aligned with your personal values? The way women or other caste or LGBT people are considered in religion? This is a good question. So, we have what we call exoteric and esoteric religion. Exoteric is more kind of the social, the rules, the belonging to something, believing in something. And this came second, but first came what we call the religare. Religare is reconnect. The same meaning as yoga. It's the connection between the earth and heavens, between the spirit and the human something. And so that was an experiential, a very, very mystical experience. Before, all the mystics were like scientists and artists and everything. And so after the mystics are the one who brought down the thing, but then it was taken over by politicians and things. So this modern religion, exoteric religion, is more like politician, like government, country, belong. You obey these rules. But the yogis, Jesus was never rapping about hell and telling people they're wrong and sinners, and he would ever say anything like that. We know all the Gnostic Gospels. We have all these other Gospels that were excluded for it, you know. So inevitably there's going to be conflict between the personal and the collective when it comes to, you know, because all these religions come from a long time ago, and life was very different. And so we have, so we can respect the social exoteric things, but the real, right, like for example, all the religions have the esoteric. You have the Sufis, right? From Sufism, the Quran is empty. The pages are blank because we're living it. The Vedas are here now. We're living it now. We're not. It's not reading. It's not a book on the shelves, and it's like, oh my God, am I a good girl? Am I a good boy? No, we're embodying that, and so the personal, one's personal, and a real open. You know, like a religious community should be open to discourse and to exploring these questions as well. You know, through and so it's important. It's important that we talk, and because this is how we can evolve and we can live the religion as a testament. You know, I spent many years with the Quakers, and the Quakers were all about like putting your beliefs into practice through you know, resistance, through legal means, but also through you know, protest and creativity and all of these things. And so if religion is just like, it's on Sunday and I put on my thing, it's like a side thing, but if it's really like a part of the life that's informing our values and how we live and how we treat others, then we have to explore these questions and themes. And it's not like, you know, 50 years ago, it's just like, shut up and do what you're told. You know what I mean? This approach to religion. And you have many abuses in all of the all religious traditions. So that's why, in a sense, yoga or Buddhism or Hinduism, and these aren't isms, and it's not a religion, it's more of like a psychology or a practical map, right? But these are open source paths where it's not like, if you don't believe this, you're going to hell, you're wrong, you're evil, you're out. It's not an us and them kind of thing. It's more open source. And so those can be helpful because it's practical. These are practical, they're practical ways to live in harmony with life. And the focus is on being in harmony with life, and so observing the patterns of life and tuning with that, instead of taking just some abstract thing that's been decided on at some point that this is the way it is, and then forcing everything to fit into that model, which it clearly doesn't. When you're going through the toughest times of life, like grief or loss, how do you remind yourself to come back to your practice and back to yourself? So the practice, like brushing your teeth, I mean, sometimes it's difficult, I think, when people are in severe depression or feeling really disconnected, even to brush your teeth, take a shower clothes. So even the external one can become difficult. But if you already have the habit of practice, right, you don't wait till the toughest time. You start now, whenever that is. Whenever that now is, it's now. And so it's like, when you learn like that after you go to the bathroom, you're supposed to wipe your butt, then from that day on, you got to do it, right? You just got to do it. And so in the same way, when it's understood, like, okay, every day making a mess, if I clean up the mess, right, then I feel better, right? Then you already have that connection. Then when in difficult time, even in difficult times, the issue is we become in this absolute identity. Every day, we're having so many different emotions, but once we latch on to a specific identity or aspect or condition or situation, then it becomes almost like absolute and total. But really, we have to, that's why the practice is needed, right, for filtering, cleaning, because even within sadness, you have moments of creativity, moments of beauty, moments of wisdom. Everything is everywhere all the time. That's why what are we doing in this practice? You're refining your nervous system. Like a super antenna, where you can have all these dials like you want a satellite dish, when those came out, you could get all those channels from around the world, right? When your nervous system is awesome, right? And again, what's awesome means not like totally like armored and stunned, all this noise and freaking out and not sleeping, right? In general, everybody's nervous system is shot. That is the natural outcome of our modern world. Literally. So it's not that something is wrong. That is, in living the way that we are forced to live, or that we've been thrust into, with the 9 to 5, with the work, with the insurance, with the constant marketing and advertising and all these messages, and inundated with endless food and choices, meaningless choices, right? Then the only outcome is the nervous system is shot, right? Because what do we do to cope? We're distracting, we're drinking alcohol, we're going out, we're doing things that are also not helping the nervous system. So it becomes a cycle, and then a lot of people make a lot of money off of people when they're in that state. Because our medicine has nothing to do with health. They're profiting off of illness. They don't even know what health is. So I need to check in again. What was the question? I'm on the way. Oh yeah, terriblest times. So so that's why also community is essential. Community, to be around other people, diverse people of diverse ages, children, to have the whole scale every day, because it's nourishing different aspects. You get to be like, You want to 10 years ago, I'm 46 now. 10 years ago, or whatever, 15 years ago when I came, I was 31. There were people calling me grandpa. The little kids call me grandpa. The older people call me nephew. People my age call me brother. Every day, I'm every role. Right? That's so nourishing. Spend time with animals and spend time in nature. These are things that are nourishing. These are things we don't get so much in the modern time. Things to help regulate the nervous system. Self-massage, acupuncture, steaming, fitness, all these things. You have to cultivate those. You have to make it part of your life. Find the things that work and insist on them. Because it's going to be tough, right? Everyone you know is going to get sick and die. Everything is going to collapse, without question. If we're holding back like, I hope it works out, I hope it's going to be okay. No, not going to be okay. Right? But that's the magic of it. That's the joy. And unless you're rooted, you're going to get destroyed. And you'll learn through that. But if you're rooted, then it won't be so bad. Or maybe it will be some new understanding, some new chapter, new opportunity. But it requires that you have to be prepared. We're living in a false ideal, and all the ideals are false. There's no correct ideal. Simply to be yourself. The same way, all the plants being themselves, without making themselves wrong. See, no amount of making yourself wrong will eventually make you right. This idea, I'm not good enough, that eventually you become good enough. It doesn't happen like that. No. I'm not like this, no. By being enough each moment, then you're as a wholeness, you flow into that, whatever that next blossoming is. But if you're always, I'm not enough, I'm not good, I'm not yoga enough, I'm not meditation enough, I'm not nice enough, but that contraction is a disservice at every level. There's no benefit. So it's a bad habit. So daily practice is not like, I'm not good at downward dog. No, by being in downward dog, whether it looks good or not, and it's uncomfortable, I keep breathing, then I'm activating the chemistry and retraining my cells and nervous system. I'm awakening the energy. That's what could be better. There's a huge success. But there's nothing to prove to anyone. Nowadays, yoga is 100%. It's we do it to prove it. Look, I can do it. I do it tricky. And then we're competing with ourselves or with others, or with the idea of some abstract ideal. We're competing with an ideal, and then we're performing. So now what is that? That is not what we're talking about. It's the opposite of what we're talking about. To be at home in yourself. Do we all have a purpose? Do we need to find it for ourselves, or will it find us? This is good. I just saw this a few weeks ago, or months or something. So this question of purpose, do I have a purpose? Or sometimes it's phrased like this: what is the purpose of life in my life? What is my purpose for life? Something like that. And so what I saw is that actually, I don't have a life. Right? For my life to have a purpose, I have to have a life. Right? I. Who would be this I though? This idea of Joel has something which is called life. Life is a substance or something. Life as a what? Who is this one existing separately that's having something? It's not possible. So actually, Joel doesn't have a life. Life is having a Joel. Life is temporarily having a Joel and a Daria and a Claudia, and it's having a window, and life is having a. But this isn't. It's not me having something. Life is having a me, right? And so I'm getting there, right? So then what that means is Joel is the purpose of life, right? Joel being Joel is the purpose of life. I'm the expression of life. So for the plant to be the plant, that is the purpose of life. Life has the purpose. Life's purpose. Because there's no me. So for me to be myself, that's the ultimate success. That's the purpose of life. And so when is that purpose happening? It's happening every moment. Every single moment. Each interaction, each gesture, each breath is your purpose. To show up each moment is the purpose of life. And that's unique for each one of us each day. What it means to show up right now is different from what it means to show up a few seconds later, or a few hours later, or in another situation, or another conversation. It's never, there's no hard rule. There's no strict rule. Act like this. That's posing. That's mind. So, yes, purpose. You are the purpose. You are the purpose. You don't have a purpose. So don't look far. Don't look far for the purpose. Look right around you, at your relationships, at the spaces around you, at yourself. What is poise? Yeah, poise is pose with an I, right? But actually, it's pose without the I. The I is always posing. Ego is posing. Look at me, right? Like putting on the show, put on the mask to get attention for others. We're posing. Instagram is pose. Posing, strike a pose, quick. Strike a pose, And we're very good at that now. It's become almost, it's actually really scary. And so yoga, we talk about yoga pose, right? And they think, it's a pose, I'm posing. Right? But what we're saying is the point is not the pose. It's not to be, it's not circus tricks. And the purpose is the poise. Poise is a depth. It's like the way you carry yourself. Poise is your roots, to be rooted. It's the vibe. It's the energy of flow. And so that poise is the depth. Pose is on the surface. Pose is on the surface, but poise, you can't fake it. You can't fake a poise. And so the practice is not the pose, it's about the poise. Maintaining that poise, the center, that fullness, right? When the tree is totally grounded in itself. It's not thinking, what should I do today? What should I eat now? How do my leaves look? What are they gonna think about me when I'm dead? Anything? Never, nothing. Right? And so there's a natural, there's something so delicious about that, just being, Same with all the ants and grasshopper, all of life. Only human beings are in this state of continual confusion and worry. And so poise, we have to learn poise from nature. We can't learn from other humans. Everyone's faking it. Everyone's posing. Everyone's put on this masks and forgotten they're on. Only the sages and enlightened masters. But that, how can you recognize? How can you even know? I've seen noni trees in the campus, you're correct. I know they're beneficial for health, but how do you eat them? So, 2 ways to eat noni. One, you can eat them raw, where they're unripe. And Cambodians will pickle them or put them in salads. I mean, no matter how you eat a noni, it is gross, right? So you can eat it raw, or you can ferment it where it gets black and dark, and you take that liquid and you take a spoon of the liquid, and then it's, fermented noni juice. That's the superpower stuff. Also, like ayahuasca style gross, like drinking ayahuasca basically. So if anyone wants to, after the talk, we can find a noni tree and what is the biggest takeaway for you after years of traveling and experiences? I'm not about superlatives. I don't like the biggest, the most, anything like that. There's traveling experiences I guess what I just said, that I don't have a life. Life has a me. I mean, how could I say? Every day I'm having such radical, wild experiences and realizations. You know, it's been an ongoing, like a continual flood of realization experience where one is more mind-blowing than the next for years, for decades. And so it's like, and in that you can't hold on to anything. No, to hold on to any one thing, then lose the flow. So whatever is realized, immediately let it go. It's immediately let go of. So I can't even, how can I keep track? Oh my gosh. But the nature is really important because we can't learn anything from humans. They're too fucked up. Right? We try to understand love by observing human love, not impossible. Try to understand kindness. It's because it's all, again, it's all show. It's all we you know, we're copying at Disney and the TV and how people act and behave and everything. And so it's not natural. It's not from the heart. It's not, it's trying and it's no one's fault. But what we need is to, one, be quiet, less talking, and observe nature. Observe the way the water flows, the way the water flows, the patterns. Observe the way the leaves and the branches and so the roots and the trees. You know, observe the way the animals behave together, everything. Now then, this is a real teacher. Actually learning, it should be through apprentice style learning. This whole like all this information and everything like that is not the best. Really, to learn anything, any craft or any sport, and that's how it always was previously. Really, you didn't, it's like 100 years ago, 200 years ago, what do you want to be when you grow up? It's like your parents were metalsmiths and you were a metalsmith. You know, your parents were carpenters, you were a carpenter. Your parents made wheels, you made wheels. It was part of and your trade was part of life. Nowadays we have this thing of like we need to make a name and a career and like there's some like real important, like it's some big important what's that called, legend, like a story or something. But actually it's like a side quest. The career is side quest. It's not the main story. What was that? The Odyssey. What is that called? Where you go on one of these, the hero's journey. But sacrifice everything oh, we can't do it. There has to be balance, but the way that things are set up, it's making very difficult. Is there ever a reason to follow a thought during meditation? If it is particularly enlightening or important, do you follow it then and there, or put a pin and hope to come back to it? Good question. Yeah, both are okay. Both are okay practices. Sometimes during the meditation, right, you're sitting still and boom, some huge realization comes, or some memory, or something meaningful comes. So okay, you can sit with it for a minute if you want, or if you're able to put a pin into it, then immediately after meditation, you take your journal and start to unpack it. Right? You don't want to sit there the whole time, every time unpacking thoughts and ideas. It's possible. Right? So, but then every now and then a gem comes, right? Or something very strong comes. So sure, you can unpack it, but then when possible, you drop it and then go back. Because like that one or 1,000 others. That's why the journal is so important. Keep the journal with you, under your cushion, and then afterwards you take notes. Really, that we have all this like, is it right? Should I like this? Yeah, but the key is to get into the zone. Same like when playing tennis. Like, oh, should I hold my racket like this or like this? How do I swing? You just have to keep swinging the thing. Eventually get into the zone, you know that feeling. So in meditation too, the key is just to learn to get into that zone where you're kind of suspended, very light, the mind is just like, the thoughts, maybe they're going, but you're just, then something comes, okay, deal with it, and then hang or go. But the key is, again, not to get too much, like we always want to be perfect, this, no, don't worry. Just learn, feel that zone, to get into the zone where you're no longer in this like frantic trying to like be right and everything. In a zone, and even touch into that for a second or a few seconds, huge, massive. It's like life-changing. Like you go hunting for gold, you get a little nugget. It's still worth so much, a little one diamond. So in the process, you get just one breath of stillness, one gust of freedom where you have no thoughts, no mind. You feel a deep peace. That will shift everything. It's working at the deep level. This is the thing, we're working at the deep level, and so it takes time before it shows on the surface. When you plant the seed, it doesn't immediately come into the surface. First is roots going, then eventually you see something on the surface. That's why it's important to listen. Okay, I should share these two things, two important teachings. One about how to listen, listening to intuition. So intuition, the deeper knowing, is not speaking with words, right? Instead with a kind of, like, you hear someone playing music, it's very beautiful, and you feel like, inside. Right? Then you walk a little further and someone is playing out of tune and it sounds terrible, and you're like, ugh. Right? So that's this expansion or contraction. This is the language of the intuition or inner knowing. And so that's happening every moment in relation to everything, every person, every breath, every sound, everything we're having to, but we're not paying attention. And we don't trust it. And so in order to listen to intuition, first you have to become quiet, completely quiet. Don't think, not trying to compare. You're trying to figure something out. Don't try to compare the pros and cons and analyze them back and forth. You just be quiet and just feel. Feel inside. And maybe you feel, again, this, then you know, okay, something off. Or you feel, right? Or maybe you feel nothing. Then it means it's not time yet. It's not ready yet. You can't know yet. You can't just rip the flower out of the seed. You can't do it. Everything has its timing. You have to respect the timing. Sometimes it's not time to know. No matter, you can't think it open then. No amount of thinking and smashing it into pieces. What happens? You smash the seed. You get anything? Nothing. So you have to respect it. So first stage is just learning how to be quiet and listen. Second stage is learning to trust it, because then we hear it and we're like, oh no, and we don't want to trust it. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust the messages. And then the third stage is learning to act on it. And so the good news is that life will slap you around until you do, until you act on it, until you listen. And so that's the grace. That's why suffering is grace. Without that, we just walk in the wrong direction forever. And so listening, that's listening. Number 2, what was the other one? Oh yeah. Misunderstanding about happiness. We have a total misunderstanding about happiness. Now, the idea now is happiness means kind of getting what you want or winning, where you get excited, right? But actually, this excitement is not happiness. It's a temporary intoxication. Like eating sugar. When you eat sugar, and it's not happiness. No, it's a momentary high, which is then replaced by a down. Right? So if you win, but then, it's not, you get what you want, and then it's not enough or not good enough, like that. So that actually has nothing to do with happiness. It's just an excitement or intoxication. Happiness is the state of not needing anything, not wanting anything. Like you eat a meal, you're full. That contentment, that fullness of not needing anything, nothing is missing. That deep at-homeness and peace is the happiness. It's a stable state. It's not up and down and based on the circumstances of the world. It's the rooted, grounded in yourself, that you know deep down nothing is missing. I am whole and have been from before I was born. Life is whole. The planet is whole. The river is whole. The ocean is whole. Everything is, not just me. that wholeness is the foundation of existence, then okay, last questions. What role does self-love play in life? How do you practice self-love? Self-love is the foundation of life. Because, again, you are the purpose of life. So to be yourself is the purpose of life. So if you're to hate yourself, to actively not love yourself, right, would be going against the purpose of life. And to love yourself, but to love yourself, it's not like sitting on the side where a lineup of people and you're like pointing at yourself like, oh, I really love you. You're so beautiful and nice and good and everything. It has nothing to do with that. It's not a beauty contest. It's not competition or something like that where you're getting judged. And now you need to judge yourself and you need to make the rules such that you can fulfill the conditions of judging yourself like that. There's nothing to do with love. To breathe is self-love. Right, to honor, to eat your food slow, to make a nice meal, to make your bed. It's taking the time, giving the space to honor yourself and what you need, the uniqueness of yourself. To set boundaries is self-love. To have a good conversation is self-love. No, it has to be, it can't be just like a thing I need to do on the side every now and then. It's got to become the current of life, is that you are like, and I guess the reason that we need, and I'm looking at it now, the reason why we need to give ourselves this like extra love that's outside is because we're making ourselves wrong generally day to day. And so we can start with, to not make yourself wrong is self-love. Under what circumstances should we be making ourselves wrong? How has that become a thing? Right? It probably has to do with the way the parents and teachers were taught in school, like, good enough, not good enough, this thing. But we have to, if possible, in whatever way possible, immediately remove the programming of constantly thinking I'm wrong or I'm not good enough. Because this is incredibly detrimental. And just simply by not doing that, then the self-love will flow automatically. Because self-love is the flow of the universe. The river flowing is the self-love. The fire burning is the self-love. So the flower blossoming is the self-love. So when you're not getting in the way of that, with the wrong thinking and wrong understanding, and we can explore that. Is it ever right thinking to think I'm not good enough, I'm not enough, right? Under what circumstances would that be appropriate? So we have to consider that. And then if it's not appropriate under any circumstances or very rarely, then we have to immediately remove that. Any understanding, like for example, you think that water boils at 85 degrees and actually water boils 100 degrees. As soon as you learn that water is boiling 100 degrees, you have to immediately change the whole database. You have to update the whole database and function of the new understanding and realization about existence, about the laws of science, but also the laws of the body, heart, and mind. All of this is science and nature. So the problem is that we're still existing in outdated model of the universe. We know now many things about physics, quantum physics, these kind of things. And we're still existing in like a 1900s understanding of reality and space and time and everything. And we're existing in a framework where a false framework, a psychological framework, where we're not good enough, the ideal's over there, I gotta work real hard to get there, I'm gonna be good enough, get approval from others, and I'll be happy. And none of it is correct. All of it is incorrect. So there's no way to be successful when all the stages and the steps and everything is incorrect. Okay, so this is radical. What I'm saying is radical. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. You have to consider, you take that with your database of life experience, everything. But if we're setting ourselves up for impossible problem, then we're going to end up chronically frustrated and disappointed. And then we become like miserable or whatever. That's my observation. That's what I observe in the world. How can we gently encourage others to try such practices? Be more mindful and be present. Don't do it. Don't do it. No, you have to live it yourself so much. It is so infused in your life that they see it in your life, then they will become inspired. You go out proselytizing, what are you, then you're going to kill them? The Crusades, it's the same thing. I'm right, you're wrong, I'm better than you, whatever. No, this is a problem. Everyone wants this, like, oh my God, I want to tell everyone and show everyone. No, take it and really work with it, ripen it, make it like, you know what I mean? Really, if you want to honor it, then live it so deeply, then it's overflowing from your pores, pouring out of your eyes, pouring from your heart. Otherwise, you're asking for trouble. You want to get involved in other people's mess, and then want to be the savior or something? We can hardly. We're treading water within ourselves. You know, often actually, what it is I'm avoiding dealing with the work I need to do myself. I'm going to go and help those people. Actually, 90% of the time, we're just avoiding. So. But it's true, you know, it can be challenging. You're in a family, you're in, and you have this understanding, awake sensitivity, and everyone is, you know. But that friction is needed somehow in your growth and development. It's not that you have to, it's just you have to understand certain situations are put in place. Only through that, in that fire, is the necessary oomph going to come that's going to push you to the next level. So everyone's playing their part. Ask questions. How do you find the balance between manifesting, visualizing the future, and being present to let things just happen to you? So, in the present moment, visualizing arises in the present moment. Manifesting, everything arises and falls in the present moment. So by being present, life finds the balance. You can't find the balance. You can't say, because what it means to be balanced in the middle of the summer is different than in the winter. Or on a Monday is different on a Saturday. So if you have some rules, then it's not going to work. You can't find the balance. But when you're present, right, then life naturally will be balanced, means life will guide you. And when it's needed, then it's not like when you're in the present moment, you're like hiding from the past. You're like, no, that's not there. I don't even know. No, you have access to everything. You're like a jazz musician. Right? You're just in the flow. Yeah, if it's needed, it comes. You don't need to, how could you possibly hold on to everything? What's needed comes. If the past is needed, the memory comes. You don't need to hang on to it and drag it around. If needed to plan for the future, then it comes. It arises in the present moment. It's not like, oh my God, no, I'm not going to consider the future. No, of course. Yeah, okay, I need to do this, that, then it's done. Done. You don't sit regurgitating and spinning and constant thinking, oh, but maybe a little like this, or what? Oh, he said that, maybe it should. No, that's what we're talking about. So in the presence, everything finds its place. The same like in nature. How does it find? It's because everything is moving together. So when you're present, the present moment is not mine. Right? The present moment is not this room. Present moment is everything happening everywhere at once. Every molecule, every atom, every planet, every person, every ant, every turkey and donkey, and every one of them, all their thoughts and emotions, everything at once is the present moment. So there's no one to own that, no one to control it. So everything is happening at once. It's like and so this idea, otherwise it's like, oh, I'm not good at finding the balance. I couldn't balance. I can't balance it. You see, you have to see where there's no, our whole life is control. So even this idea of fun, we want to control it still. What's a better way to control so that I can win? What is it so I can get what I want and avoid what I don't want? This is very subtle. Okay, last question, big one. Practicing yoga and meditation here is great. But how do we really integrate these practices of mindfulness back home in our daily lives? Like in our noisy apartments, having to stay up late for work, or waking up at your boyfriend's house. How do you just start your day like this when you're constantly on the move? No. So I think most people still, when they wake up in the morning, are going to brush their teeth and take a shower and put on clothes. It's just, then somehow they manage to do it no matter what they're doing. Right? And there's value to that. We can see the value in that, yes. Clean mouth, clean clothes, clean teeth, need to do that. Right? And since there's value to that, and in part of society, then we do it. So then is there value if we can see the value? We have to really see it. It can't just be like, oh, maybe it would be nice to do some yoga. But it has to be like, gosh, to not do the practice would be like not eating a meal or not wiping myself after I go to the toilet. You know what I mean? It has to become extreme. And then you have to cultivate a fixed thing that you do. And do that thing again and again and again to where the thing is doing itself. The practice is doing itself. You don't have to do it. Even you're hungover, you're tired, or whatever, you drag yourself, you start it, you can do it anywhere, anytime. That's why I'm saying 2%, 30 minutes. In which case you just get up a half hour earlier. Right? Because it's going to improve every aspect of your day and your life. That's the hypothesis. Right? If there's a vitamin you could take that would improve everything that you did and everything about your life, then for sure you would find a way to take it. And so it just becomes like that's part of the excitement is like how to fit. It's not like, oh my God, so inconvenient. It's like, great. My boyfriend's house, he's got a beautiful rooftop. I'm going to go up to the rooftop and wake up earlier when life is quiet and I'm going to do my meditation and it's beautiful. Right? Or I get up or whatever. It's just a small room and I'll just get up and I'll go to the corner of the room. I have my earplugs and I sit down and do my thing. And by the time everyone else is getting up, I'm already alive. I feel like I'm connected. I've already, when you're doing the practice and it's like difficult and uncomfortable, and then I do it, after each one I get a burst of, wow, I can do it. I overcome a difficulty. That you get that burst biochemically in your nervous system, but also psychologically. So by the time you start the day, you've already overcome like 15 challenges at a biochemical level. And so you already have this momentum. You're in this flow, you're in full swing. If you get up later, just do it when you start. It's just relative time. When the day starts, you do it. If not, do it at the end of the day. Technically, best to do it in morning and evening. Right? Most people take a shower in the morning, feel alive, da-da-da. But then after a long, messy, sweaty, whatever day, right, it's good to get that off. So many people take a shower in the evening. So the same way, the practice is like taking a shower. Right? You're washing your mind, washing your heart, washing your cells, your blood, your organs, your da. Right? That has tremendous value. That also, people want to be beautiful. If you do that, you'll be more beautiful because your cells are beautiful, because your breath is beautiful. Then your skin will become more beautiful. Your eyes will have more light in them. Your smile will have a beautiful fragrance around you. Right? So everyone's spending a lot of money and investing in beauty things, but this is beyond. This is this divine beauty, not the superficial level. So we see there's so many benefits. You have to understand the place it plays in the life. If it's just a hobby on the side, like yoga, if you could do some yoga or whatever, then just take a yoga class once a week. You know what I mean? But what we're talking about is the tuning, like integration and activating, optimizing your whole system from a biological point of view, biochemistry, right? Not like memorizing all these lists of things I'm supposed to do, like, right? That's not going to help, right? So it's more practical, more experiential, and then by tuning your breath, the subtle tension in your breath, your spine, your senses, your mind, again and again, then it becomes familiar, it becomes natural to be in tune. And then you bring that in tuneness with you in everything that you do. The same way, if you were to train tennis and how to hold and how to swing, then eventually, every time you play, you're gonna do it that way, because it's been trained, because it becomes natural. It's not. You can't just force yourself. You can't pretend to be nice. You can't pretend to be grateful. So it requires a training. The training is very simple. It's very easy. Anyone can do it, but no one does it. So our recommendation is 100 days practice. In 100 days, you'll know for sure. You'll figure out a way. It's exciting. No, I recommend starting even when traveling. That's a great place. Find a sweet place to do your practice. In the park, on a rooftop, in a stairwell, corner of a room, wherever it may be. In the airport. Take a moment, come back to center. Close your eyes, find your breath. And let the thoughts fade away. You have to empty the trash can multiple times a day. Don't let it build up too much. You feel spaciousness. This is correct environment for mind. Not like tight clothes and cramped in the corner and pressure like this. You need to feel that as spaciousness. Where things are moving slowly, like slowing down the movie. You slow it down. Slow it down more and more, then it becomes, you see the frames. Then you jump in between one of the frames.